Okay, so thank you everyone for coming into our seminar today. We are here to talk, well, we have another person dropping in now. Let me just take this moment to introduce myself. I am Dylan Tamlin. I'm one half of the digital service squad for the city of Kawartha Lakes. Darren, you can go on ahead.
Yep, I'm Darren Jeglel. I am the other half of the digital service squad.
Yeah. So today we are here to talk to you about social media management, just some tools and some tricks to help out with actually managing your social media platforms that you're currently using. So some common misconceptions about social media. These are some things that business owners think and can often be a hang up to actually diving into managing your social media presence. Like every day has to be dedicated towards your business's social media. To many, that seems like a massive time cost, and that's a barrier. You have to be on every single social media platform, and well, that sounds like a lot to be doing. That sounds like a lot of work alongside what you're already doing when you're running your business. Some also believe that social media is a waste of time, as they don't see the returns right away. They see how they use it in their personal lives, but they don't always see how that can translate into their business's usage of social media. These are all just misconceptions about it. Social media, as we'll discuss today, can actually be a very powerful tool for your business to make use of. It doesn't have to take every single day, and it doesn't have to be a massive time sink at all. There are many tools that you can use to actually help make that a lot more streamlined. So we're going to talk about those tools today. The solution, of course, to those misconceptions is social media management. Yes. So there are many different platforms that you can make use of to actually manage your social media presence. Things like Hootsuite, Sprout Social, Buffer, Publisher, Canva even. I'm sure some of you have heard of Canva for its nice design tools that you can make use of. They even have tools you can schedule out posts with too. Facebook also has their own platforms, you could say, with Facebook's Business Suite and Business Manager. Yeah. So we're going to dive on into talking about first Sprout Social. So Sprout Social is very similar to HubSpot and Hootsuite, as in it's a non-platform. It is a platform, but is not directly tied to a social media platform. It can handle a multitude of different ones. So the pros that you'll find here is it's very easy to understand and to actually manage as you're going along. The user interface isn't very complicated or in-depth beyond what you'll need to actually make use of. So that allows for the actual scheduling. The main piece that you'll be using in this tool to be very efficient and very intuitive. This can help you cut down on the time that you're actually making use of to build up your social media presence. Another pro that a lot of people really do enjoy in comparison to a lot of places is that there's customer service featured with it. The customer service is prompt and they're thorough. So when you do have issues, as we all do, they can help you out. They can lend a hand. With that though, there are still some small bugs that you'll find within the posting and scheduling interface. This happens across a number of platforms, and it's something I personally find frustrating myself even, but it's what we have to deal with, I guess. There's automatic weekly mini reports that can be annoying, especially if you don't like spam. Personally, I'm someone that does not enjoy spam messages. If it doesn't have an immediate use to me, not really of value. That's all. But overall, it's $89 per month. It's a little bit higher in the price tier. I would put this alongside the massive players that you'll hear of like Hootsuite or HubSpot, some of which we'll be covering today. So with that $89 a month, there is a fair amount that you can actually make use of in the program. So that includes posting to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those. I am not 100% sure if it does TikTok. I have to actually look into this. But yes, so that's essentially a rundown on Sprout Social. Then the next one, we've chosen to include Facebook Business Suite and Business Manager just as Facebook and Instagram are such large platforms for business to actually. Sorry, just had someone drop into the call. They're such large platforms for businesses to actually make use of due to how many people are on the actual social media networks. So that's why we've chosen to highlight specifically Facebook's tools that they offer. So some pros that you'll find with Facebook's Business Suite is that you're able to schedule posts for both Instagram and Facebook from one place. Instead of having to go from one app to another, they have it all centrally located. You're able to view your insights and analytics from there. So they'll give you a breakdown based upon a time period that you select, be it a week, a month, 90 days, however long you're looking for your test period to be seen for. You can actually gain access to that information very, very easily. Another thing that I'd like to mention too, unlike many of the others that we'll be going over here today, it is completely free as Facebook uses it as a way to actually improve their platform that they have. So as we see here, completely free, no fees needed. And another key feature of this is that you can actually respond to messages that you receive across both Instagram and Facebook directly from the Facebook Business Suite. So this will allow you to more readily reply to your customers as they're reaching out to you, which can often be of importance, especially in different markets. So some cons that you'll find with Facebook's Business Suite, you're only able to post to Facebook and Instagram. Facebook being Facebook, they have control of those platforms. They do not have control of Twitter or YouTube. So that doesn't work for those. You'll also need to select individual pages to read your correct insights. So say you have your Instagram page and your Facebook page. Your insights are not combined, they are separate, which can be a hang-up for some, especially if they aren't as familiar with the platform. Because say you've been focusing heavily on Instagram and you're still looking at Facebook's numbers. It doesn't really correlate to the work that you're doing on that platform. So that's one con. Another con with this is the UI is not so stellar on Facebook's Business Suite, especially in the scheduling of posts. The UI, of course, would be the user interface. My apologies there. They have a confusing window system where it is multiple windows within one with scroll bars just all over the place, in which scroll bar you will need to make use of is not always readily apparent. Can be frustrating for sure. But once you get past those minor little hangups, it's a very useful tool. So then we're going to move on into this next guy here, Facebook's Business Manager. The Business Suite versus Business Manager. Business Suite is their much newer platform. Business Manager, as we're discussing here, has been around since at least 2019. Business Manager is a lot more in depth than what you'll find in Facebook's Business Suite, allowing for ad campaigns, products to be hosted for sale, and in addition to that, the ability for multiple accounts to access that one page. So say you are working alongside an agency here in the city of Kawartha Lakes, they will be able to take control of your page and post, update, all of that, while you still retain complete control as well. Again, this is completely free, and you're able to check and respond to page messages across both Instagram and Facebook. A con with this one as well, you're only able to post Facebook and Instagram. It's slightly limited again. And another con is that this one is slowly being merged into Business Suite. So a lot of the features that were in Business Manager are being built into Business Suite. For example, this morning, as I was making sure that all of these things were all still fine, I was looking into Facebook's Business Manager, and I myself had lost access. A little bit frustrating, but it is still a very useful tool if you're able to access it. And again, the price for it, it's completely free.
So next, we're going to be discussing Hootsuite, which is a mixture of a social media scheduler as well as like just a general planner that you can mix all of your social medias together with. So Hootsuite offers the ability to publish to multiple social media networks at once. So you can connect, say, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. And then if you're wanting to take a post and schedule it to all three, you can do it all from one spot rather than having to go to Facebook to post, then Instagram, then Twitter, which can take triple the amount of time that you're looking for. You can just go right to their scheduler and send it all out to the same, or all three platforms. And you can also choose whether you want to post to just one platform, two or three. It's really user-friendly in that sense. You can post to the exact channels that you're looking to post to with no issues there. They also have a point and click interface that creates immediate posts. So it's really easy to schedule your posts. Actually, I've used this one before, and essentially it'll just show you a schedule, like a calendar, and it has its days and times, and then you just click on whichever date and time you want. So say Monday to Friday along the top, and then noon to midnight along the side. You just click, say, Monday at 3:00 p.m. and it'll pop up and you make your post right in the website. And the good thing about this is you are also able to see the post as you're creating it. So you can format it properly without worrying about some of those issues when it does come to formatting. Another good thing about Hootsuite is that you can monitor your post performance and trends. So it gives you a lot of really useful analytics, including how many people viewed your posts, how many people engaged with them. It even filters through the comments and replies on your posts and sorts them between positive replies, negative replies, or neutral replies too. So you can see the general feedback that you're getting and get a sense of what posts are performing well, what posts aren't, and ones that people are enjoying, and again, ones that people aren't enjoying. So you can make adjustments to those based off the analytics that they give you. It also gives you the ability to respond to messages across all platforms from just one location. So you'll be able to connect all your channels, see all the messages that are coming through, and just reply to them all through Hootsuite in one spot rather than, again, having to go to each platform. And you can even see posts from your different channels in it. There's an option for there to be one page where you can look through, say, your Twitter mentions, you can look through retweets, you can look through just your feed as well. So you can just go to this one spot to kind of manage all of your social medias. Some of the cons are you're occasionally unable to view Facebook previews. So they do have it set up where, sorry, what was that?
Okay.
All right. So just carrying on with the cons of Hootsuite. Occasionally you're unable to view the Facebook previews. So they do have that preview option that I mentioned earlier where you can see kind of how your posts are formatted, but sometimes it doesn't show up properly with the Facebook format. So typically as you use Hootsuite, you kind of learn how the formatting works. So as you get more used to it, this becomes less of a problem, but at the start, it can definitely be a little bit of a speed bump. Up next is you're unable to use the same post to set up multiple tweets. So occasionally, since Twitter does have a character limit on the amount of letters that you can put in a caption, you're gonna want to create a thread of multiple posts together. You are unfortunately unable to do that through Hootsuite. You'll have to do that actually through Twitter by creating the initial post and then replying to it afterwards. One way to sort of counteract this would be to reformat your posts to fit into the Twitter limitations with their captions. But again, if you're unable to do that, you will have to go back to your actual Twitter afterwards to get a thread going rather than through Hootsuite. There's also custom URL shorteners that can be a little pricey. So when you're creating a caption, typically you want it to be as concise as possible. And say you don't have a whole lot of words in the caption, but you want to share a link. If the link is like 3 lines long, it may take up a little too much of the caption if there's a word limit. And it can also, when people are viewing it, sometimes the links can pop more than the actual caption itself, which you wouldn't want. So they do offer link shorteners to do, say, bit.ly and then a few characters after that. So it only takes up a little bit of space, but they can be kind of pricey to get. So talking about the actual plans, the starting plan is $49 a month or $588 for a year. And you can also increase the price of the plans to get better options. So it is a little bit more on the pricey side, but Hootsuite does offer everything you would need as far as a scheduler and social media manager. All right, I think that's all for the Hootsuite one.
Great. Yes. I wasn't sure if Eileen just had another issue there, so
yes.
Continue on.
The next one would be Buffer. Buffer is pretty similar to Hootsuite in the sense that it is able to schedule posts for multiple socials. You're also able to integrate other tools to improve its functions. So if there are third-party tools that would make it easier to make posts, Buffer allows for that. So it's not just restricted to what they offer you. It also has a really tidy interface that allows for saving time on publishing consistent content. So like with Hootsuite, it does have the calendar-based posting. So you can go to the day and time that you want to post and just simply click it and then set up a post. So it's really easy to use and there's not a lot of clutter that's distracting you from the things that you're actually going to be using it for. There are also both free and paid versions available. Now, the paid version is going to get you more, obviously, but the free version does offer quite a bit. I actually set up a free account recently just to test it out. You can have, I believe it's up to 5 social channels. So say you're only doing Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the free will get you more than enough for that. The free one also allows you to schedule up to 10 posts in a queue, but if you pay for the paid one, you can schedule unlimited posts. But if you're just, say, making posts for the week, you can just schedule 10 and then say 3 of them go out in one day, then that's 3 more in the queue that you can then schedule for later on in the week. So there are some limitations with the free program, but you can still counteract those pretty easily. And if you don't need to schedule a whole lot of posts, the free one will definitely be enough for what you need. Some of the cons are there are some limitations with the integrations of some social networks. So like I said earlier, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you won't have a problem with, but say some socials like TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, it could be issues or you may not be able to use them at all. But for the main ones, typically it does work pretty well for those. You're also unable to tag users and do mentions on some social platforms. So say you're putting up a post including someone else or someone else's business or something like that. It is sometimes difficult to tag them, or you may not have that option either. Depending on the plan that you have, you may not be able to do that. Another con is the mobile version is not quite the same as the web version. So you're going to get different, like, okay, there we go. So the mobile version is not quite the same as the web version. So if you're jumping back and forth between using the mobile and using the web, the interface may look a little bit different, which can take some time to learn the differences between the two as well. So the starting plan price for the paid plans is $5 a month or $60 for a year, or you can go with the free version as well. So the good thing about Buffer is it's typically pretty cheap as far as the pricing goes, especially in comparison to Hootsuite. It's definitely cheaper than that one. And next, we're going to discuss Canva, which is kind of a multi-use platform. You can use it for content creation. You can also use it for content scheduling as well. I'm sure some of you have heard of Canva. It's pretty popular as far as creating social media posts. So to go through the pros, first of all, very easy to use. Out of all of the photo editing softwares that I've personally used, I would say that Canva is the easiest and most user-friendly. Simple drag and drop functions. You can upload photos to it and then just drag them onto it, resize them, add filters, adjustments, whatever you need. And then you can also add, say, elements and photos from Canva onto those and just really blend them together nicely. It's essentially an easier to use Photoshop with a little bit less functionality, but because of its ease of use, it's really good if you're not really familiar with programs like Photoshop. Another good thing is the free version is often enough on its own. So free version, you get most of the features that you would get with a paid version. The pro options give you more elements, more photos. Sometimes there are premium options that you don't have unlocked with the free version, or some things like background remover. So if you have a photo of, say, yourself, but you want to remove all of the stuff in the background, you will only be able to do that with the pro version. But if you're not looking to do things like that, the free version should be enough. You just will lose a little bit of the things that they offer. They also have a lot of pre-made templates that are compatible with many color schemes, and they're super easy to edit. So when you go on, you just click on create a design, and then there are so many options to choose from. You can pick from, say, an Instagram post, a Facebook post, Facebook cover, that will all give you different sizes to fit exactly what you're wanting it to be. So say I know sometimes I've gone to make a Facebook cover photo and the size specs are not the same as the Facebook covers. So either it's blurry or it doesn't fit properly, but Canva will give you the exact pixel size that you need for that and create a template based on that. And then they also have graphics ready in the templates as well if you don't want to start from scratch, that you can just simply edit. So if there's a template that you want with perfect colors, a great background, but say there's a photo in there that you don't want, you can just delete that photo that you don't want out of there, but keep the background template. So the templates are really easy to use and they offer a lot of functionality and a lot of options for customization. And then, as I said before, they also have the drag and drop function. So you simply click on what you want to add into the template that you're making and drag it over and drop it. And then you can move it around in the actual photo editor and do any adjustments that you want from there. Moving on to some of the cons, it is a little difficult to have two people collab on one creation at a time. So you can share posts between two people so that they can both look and edit them at the same time. But that does offer some issues. So from my experience with it, if two people are making adjustments at the same time, you're kind of fighting for control over the document. So if you're like dragging aspects of it around and the other person's doing it as well, it might stop you from being able to edit, or it won't save the changes that you make. So a way around this is to just be in like having communication with the other person that you're collaborating on it with, so that you're only editing them at different times. You're not hopping on at the same time and fighting for control over editing. But the good thing is that you're not just sharing the finished product, you can share the actual file with them so that you can have multiple people editing and many different pairs of eyes as you're actually creating it. Another thing is it's kind of difficult to resize your templates when you're working on it, and you'll often have to rework the design. So say you're creating an Instagram post and you realize, oh, I don't want this to go on Instagram. I want this to be a Facebook cover instead. You can resize it, but some of the elements and graphics that you have in the file will be a little shifted around. As far as working with this, you kind of just have to reshape it. Like it'll change the size of it, but you'll have to take each element in it, move them around, resize them. So it'll be a little bit more work, but it's not something that is super drastic and can completely ruin all the progress you've made. So it's easy enough to fix, but it will take a little bit of time if you're looking to resize a design that you already have. Another con is the mobile version is a little finicky and a little less user-friendly than the web version, and it can take some time to get used to. This is pretty typical with a lot of programs. Often their mobile version won't be as optimized and won't have as many options. So Canva does still give you the option to edit on your phone, but you'll be better off doing it on the web through a PC or a Mac or something like that. But you still have that option for the mobile version if you want to use it. So for the starting plans for this one, it's free unless you want Canva Pro, which starts at $16.99 a month or $203.88 for a year. And again, that just gives you more options for different things that you can add to your posts and whatnot. Canva also, I just want to mention this, they have a content scheduler as well. The thing about Canva scheduler is that you can only schedule a post from Canva. So if you're wanting to do a post of a picture that you're using from a different software, you'll have to upload it to Canva and then post it through that. But it is free to use. And if there are posts that you're posting through Canva, then it can be a great option for scheduling. And now we're just going to go through a couple tips and tricks to remember about all of the social media management. Do your research and find the right fit for you for which program you decide to use. So say you're looking for a scheduler, look up the best schedulers to use. There are going to be tons of articles comparing different ones. So you can see kind of which one fits what you're looking for the most, and test out free trials. You know, it doesn't cost anything to test them out. And it gives you personal experience on how good the software is, because you can listen to someone else tell you how it is all day, but until you get that firsthand experience with the program, you may not know if it's the best fit for you and your company. So test out some free trials. It never hurts to do that because you'll find the best fit. Focus on the social media platforms that your target audience uses as well. So say you're targeting the younger generation, maybe focus more on, say, Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that rather than Facebook. Whereas if you're targeting an older demographic, then Facebook and Instagram is what you want to use, because you don't want to be spending a bunch of time making posts on channels that aren't going to give you any return and that you're not going to be reaching who you're wanting to reach. Another thing is to dedicate 1 or 2 days to focus on social media and plan it all ahead rather than trying to just go with each post. So say you want to post each day of the week, don't worry about posting on every day. Just send Monday and Tuesday to create your posts and to schedule them to go out, and then you don't have to worry about it after that. If you're working on multiple posts at once, you'll get more efficient at the time that it takes to create and schedule each post. So if you're doing it all at one time, then it's a lot easier and a lot more stress-free to get a bunch of posts ready to go out at the same time. Also use whatever works for your budget. So say you don't have a whole lot of money to spend on a scheduler, use Buffer rather than Hootsuite. Just look for the lower costs that give you what you need. Don't go over budget on stuff like this, because there are often a lot of alternatives that are rather cheap to do what you need with social media. And if you need any extra help with anything with social media, you can reach out to Dylan and myself. Our email is digitalsquad@cohorthelakes.ca. We can answer any questions you may have either through email, or we could even do one-on-one consultations where we discuss exactly what you want help with, and we will help you out with that. Any services that Dylan and I provide are completely free of charge. So if you want to set up a consultation and discuss how to go over, whether it's social media, whether it's websites, stuff like that, we will be available to do a free consultation with you.
All right. Well, that is our presentation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to either ask them now, drop them in the chat, or send us an email. Mary Kay, just to address your quick question there, unfortunately, we were not with the Digital Squad last year. We can definitely follow up later, though. All right. And I would also like to say thank you, everyone, for your time today. Yeah, hopefully we are able to assist.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, everyone. And we will be doing more of these seminars in the future as well. It's going to be the same thing. Just register beforehand and join when you get the chance. If you join a little late, then again, we'll be recording these sessions. And if you can't make it either, we'll be recording these and posting them to go up later as well for you to view. Same with this one, as we said earlier, we're going to be putting this on our site. So if at any point you want to go back and look at some of the things we discussed today, then you will have that option.
All right. So yeah, if no one has any questions at this time, I think we're going to wrap up this call. And as always, you can always reach out to us at digitalsquad@quirklakes.ca. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you. Bye, everyone.